Hey everybody, thanks for tuning back into Crypto Mainly. Been away for a couple of days, guys, so sorry it's been a bit quiet. So I've been quiet in the group and things. They obviously everybody knew that I was going to be away for a few days, so I thought I'd take a break and have a little bit of relaxation, try and retune the brain and come back to a little bit of excitement. But in actual fact, not very much has happened since I've been away. But we're going to jump into the markets because there are some scary signs that I'd like to make you aware of, and just to follow up on the world markets, which I put a video out a short while ago. I'll put a link to that into the description. Sorry, a card at the end of the video. So for those of you that are interested in watching the original, but let's jump straight into the content today, guys. Firstly, thanks ever so much. 306 subscribers. This creeps up marginally every day, and I'm very grateful to you for subscribing. If you are new to the channel, please don't let the number of subscribers put you off. It is a very new channel. I've been working behind the scenes for the last 2.5 years with one of the, if not the most recognised influencer in the crypto space. So just branching out on my own now. So please don't be put off by the number of subscribers. Please do like, subscribe, turn on the bell, and I look forward to you joining and providing you with some interesting content as time goes on. Okay, let's jump into the content. Okay, so so obviously we were looking at a few things on the last video that we did here, and namely the weekly support in the blue dotted line there, and then the 200 SMA, which was the orange line below. And we were hoping that if prices came down, that those two strong supports would hold. And as you can see, actually they didn't hold at all. They didn't provide very much support at all, which is concerning actually. But there's reasons for that, guys, and we'll come to that a little bit later in the video. So the video, what we're going to look at today is we're going to have a look at the tether dominance. We're going to have a look at an alternative view of Bitcoin, and we're going to have a look at the Hang Seng, which is the Chinese index, the MOEX, and also the SPX, which is the S&P 500. So starting with Bitcoin then. As you can see, guys, we came down. We're riding against the lower edge of the resistance here, which is not a good sign. In fact, we're struggling to get back above. You can also see that we've got a series of highs here. We've actually got lower highs here. Having said that, if you can see that I've marked that line there, 21,565. If you do see a 4-hour candle body close above that, then the chances are actually that in fact, you can just on a 1-hour close, in fact, above that line, would see possibly a move to the upside. But you can see, guys, this is looking more like it's coming to the downside. You've got, as I say, lows. So you've got highs and you've got lower highs there. This is actually looking like, that you've got a sort of topping pattern forming here. And once you break the neckline, we'll probably see a retest and then continuation to the downside, unfortunately. So just if we have a look at tether dominance, again, in the video last time, we were talking that perhaps this resistance would hold here. And as you can see, we've got a very strong sort of bullish move. So the price was consolidating there. We actually did wonder whether that was actually forming a bull flag, which we did talk about in the last video. It's a little bit of a messy one, but it is, you can see that actually, it is a bull flag of sorts, shall we say? So you can see, and then we got the breakout and then continuation. But not really the bull flag. I don't think it is what actually created the move. We'll come to what did in just a second. But obviously now we've got a similar scenario again, where you've got a highs here and lower highs. So this is looking like it's going to come back down and give the market a little bit of a breather. And you can see actually on dominance, the Bitcoin dominance is falling down. So I think that when this comes back down, I don't think that's going to translate to necessarily a positive move in Bitcoin. More likely, in fact, looking at dominance, is that it will actually be some positive moves in the altcoins whilst this makes its way back down over the next sort of coming days. I do think at the moment trading is very high risk. What with September looming, I do think that that this move that it hasn't finished yet. So just why did we get this? Keep doing that. Why did we get this huge move to the downside? And cut through these significant weekly resistances. You've got the weekly support, weekly supports. You've got weekly support there, and you've got the 200 SMA support there, and you can see it just cut straight through it. Well, if we have a look at the SPX, we can see why. We're zoomed out at the moment just to show you how significant this top dotted line is here, guys. So just eye that top dotted line for a moment, and you can see just how significant that is. This goes back to, in fact, all the way back to 2000 and 2011. So you can see just how significant that line is. And we have broken above it now, but what you'll notice, um, as you said in the last video, you've got this resistance at the top, which is the peaks. Basically the peaks of the two previous attempts at sort of breaking out. And I did wonder whether we were going to reject from there, and you can actually see now very clearly that we are getting that rejection. Let's just go down to smaller time frames, and you can see. We came up. I think things were looking very promising. You can see I've got the weekly wick highs, weekly wick high and weekly candle body high there marked in purple. On the chart there. This chart is a little bit busy, so forgive me for that. But you can see that once we've broken above there, things really look really quite promising. But as I said before, if you look here, we've got we've got highs here, we've got our higher highs here, and then very quickly the price sort of created a double top there and then just rolled over. And I'm wondering if we see the same again. We've come back down below weekly support. The weekly what should have been support, both so that the top dotted line there would have been the weekly wick high, as you can see there, and then the one below that would have been the weekly candle body highs, and you can see that the price, it just came collapsing straight the way back through there. So that really is a sign of weakness, in fact, and it's not a good sign at all. So as I said in the video, as you can see from this purple scribble line here, that I think that's what's going to happen. We're going to see, the prices actually start to come back down. And we'll come to the reasons why I think that as well in a second. But um, again, the 21 EMA on the monthly is a significant support, and that's the next one which will break. And as you can see, guys, this dotted line here is the one which goes back, all the way back to 2011, basically. So we've got one which is here, which is like the the lows of this top range here. So this is like the neckline, if you like, of this big head and shoulder pattern which formed at the top. But this one is the one which is the real significant one, which goes back all the way to 2011. So if we do see prices coming back down below that dotted line, the 21 EMA is significant. If that doesn't hold, then I think it's very likely that we'll see prices, come back below the 4,000 level again. And once you start to get below sort of 4,050, sorry, 4,050. Once you get below 4,050, then then I think we'll get very quick moves to the downside on the S&P. So yeah, I mean, just if there was any time to protect yourself, guys, this is it. I mean, once we got to the top of this resistance here, if you're in traditional stocks, shares, or Bitcoin, you can see that this move to the downside was what created this move on Bitcoin, which just literally just cut through significant weekly support and the 200 week SMA as well. It just literally just collapsed through with no support there at all. So we've got to be very careful with keeping an eye on the S&P at the moment. And this is looking like it's going to continue to the downside. As I say, what we may see is, as we saw before at the top here, is you get you get the first attempt, you get the second attempt, then you get a break, then you get the breakdown, the retest, and then continuation. And we may get something similar to that. So we'll get perhaps another attempt up, then come down, and then you'll get the breakdown, the bounce, and then continuation to the downside. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did get support from that long-standing support line that goes back, as I say, a long period of time. But don't be don't sort of get your hopes up too much. I think that we're going to come back up and be a retest of the neckline of this breakdown rather than anything else, and then rolling over in continuation to the downside. So I mean, just if we look at Bitcoin on a sort of, you can see quite clearly on the daily here that we've broken down through. We found a little bit of support on this ledge of support which we were looking at from previously. We've got a bit of a bounce, but as you can see, we're grinding against the lower part of that what is now resistance, and we're having a job to get back above it. So this is actually looking like we're going to see something like this, where in actual fact we've got this is sort of the AB, if you like, of a bigger move. So we've got AB there, and then we're going to see the CD, which will take us back down to this measured move, which is obviously confluence with the moves that we're expecting to see in September. So these moves here, guys, the 35% is the measured move of the average move, if you like, from September's past. So from the local highs to the lows of September, the average was 35%, and hence the reason, obviously we've topped out here. So the 35% move from that is at around, takes us down to about 16,000 to 16,500. But we are going to have, there's going to be an order block here at this wick low, which we revisit. So it may be that we just come back down into this order block and we get the bounce. And then, as I said in the previous videos, we could be looking at something like this, where we've got lows here, and if we get a high enough bounce or a wick down, then a high enough bounce, we could see higher lows here. And then again, then what we would be looking at potentially for the future is this type of scenario where we've got an even bigger bottoming pattern. That's kind of on the hopeful side, guys. But I have to say that if we look at the Chinese market, it looks absolutely dreadful. And it looks like it's about to collapse. So this is the chart really, which I think we need to pay most attention to. If we look here, you can see quite clearly that that where this is a 5-day time frame. There is actually still 2 days to go before this 5-day closes, but you can see that we're already broken down through the 5-day. As I say, there's a long way to go. 2 days, anything can happen. This could bounce back up. But if we start to go down into the lower time frames and start to look at the daily, you can see that we've got we had lows here, these range lows here, which we've broken now, and starting to to sort of erode our way down through the supports. So we've got a daily support now, which we're just on the brink of just of holding that at the moment. And obviously then we've got a lower one here, but this is to me looking like I said that we'd either get like a topping pattern here, or we would get a W pattern here. The W pattern is actually looking like it's failing now. So this wouldn't be a bottoming pattern. This is actually looking like a topping pattern. And as I say, the measured move of this, if we look on a much bigger scale, if we go back to the 5-day, you can see quite clearly, why I'm looking at this. And you can see at the top there, you've got the you've got highs and you've got lower highs. You've got a neckline sensation. We've broken down, we've come back up, and we're retesting the neckline now, and we are actually breaking down. And the measured move that is all the way down to 8,321, which is that's going to be a wild ride all the way down there. That's a scary move from where we are now. That's a 50, 50. Where are we? A 57% move from where we are, so sort of 50 to 60% move from where we are in the Chinese market. So that's going to be horrendous times. That will affect the economy globally, guys. So if there's any time at all that you're thinking about whether you should be in stocks, shares, or protecting yourself and coming out and just and sitting on the sidelines and observing, this isn't financial advice, guys. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a global economist or anything like that. So please do your own research. But in my opinion, if there's a time at all that where you'd be thinking about protecting yourself and keeping your sort of exposure to risk on assets, through say, this is the time now to be protecting yourself. If this market does collapse, the Chinese market, then that will affect the world economies in a horrendous way. So if we have a look at the MOEX as well, MOEX is looking a little bit more healthy. So we've got this this falling channel, which you should get a break to the upside. But I mean, I just the measured move from this breakout would just be the top of the channel. So we're probably looking at at the most maybe a 10% move, and then what happens from there. If we do get the 10% move to the upside, and then price just just rolls over, and then starts to grind away at these lows again. So they've got this a nice sort of support here, but you can see that the price has been literally grinding away on that support for a long time now. Let me just take you back to the so the support was holding, it's been holding reasonably well for all of this time here. You can see that support level there has been significant, but I think that where we keep grinding away at it, I think if we do break out, you're going to get people that sort of sell off when you get to the top of this breakout. The sell off is going to be a little, people are going to be taking profits and things from the from this move and be happy to get back out of their positions and things, and then we're going to get a bigger sell-off, I think. But there's a lot that can happen in this time, but just something to think about, really. What with the this coming down, so the Chinese market collapsing, will be what causes us to get a bad negative bearish reaction in the S&P and world markets. It won't just be the S&P; it'll be FTSE, the European markets. Everything will be affected if the Chinese market does start to collapse down here. So now's the time, guys. If you're going to be protecting yourself, just be very, very careful at the moment, in my opinion. And sorry about the doom and gloom, guys. I'd obviously like to give you my honest opinion on things, and not to be sort of a bit of a moon boy and talk about sky's the limit all the time, because I don't think it is. Particularly at the moment, be silly to be talking about sky's the limit when we've lost the 200 SMA. We're below, the support. We just collapsed through support, and now we're on the underside of support. Tether dominance is looking like, we come back up. Obviously, we've got this bullish breakout, which was created by the S&P. So the S&P falling down created a lot of selling in the crypto market, which is why the tether dominance has shot up to where it is. But this is looking now like we'll come back down, and we'll create. So we've got all the way down here. We've got lows. Sorry, you've got highs, and then you've got lower highs all the way down. So and then highs, lows. You've got lower lows as we come down. So you've got this is a sort of a clear downtrend. So you've got highs, lower lows all the way down here. So this is a clear downtrend. And now things have changed. We've got a high. If we get a higher low, and then we get a higher high, then this is this is a structure change, and we could see that that the tether dominance starts to create a new sort of an impulse upside move. So you'll get you'll then get highs, a low, a high, higher low, higher, and you'll get the opposite of what we've seen here. There is a lot for it to do to actually break through this this resistance block here. So let's hope that even if we come back up, perhaps we'll get maybe a double top here, and then we'll roll over and come down the downside. But there's a lot that can happen, guys. But I think generally overall, my message is be careful, be very careful, and protect yourselves. Keep an eye on the Hang Seng. So that's the ticker for that is HSI1 exclamation mark. Keep a very close eye on that, guys. And if you see, it's particularly the very low, the daily low there is 18,312. And if sort of the next level to watch now, so a daily close below 19,213 would be would be another daily low broken, and the next one below that is 18,312. So 19,213 and 18,312 are the two to watch. And if you get closes below 18,312, then hold on to your seats, because the price, this will collapse very quickly, and it will affect the rest of the world markets. So just be aware of that, guys. Okay, guys, thanks ever so much for listening. Take care now. I look forward to speaking to you again soon.